and gentlemen, here we are at the Gilchrist County Jail, established in 1928. We will get back to the jail in a moment. I see your interest here in one of our museum pieces. It's a very unique piece. This is a 1947 Plymouth paddy wagon that was used in the Bronx from 1947 to 1951. In 1951, if you take notice through the window, there are 3 bullet holes in that window. There were 2 young deputies in this car that were killed on a mob hit. Oh, wow. The car sat in impound up in New York for many years. It found its way down to Sarasota. They raced it for a while. That's why you see the louvered hood here. Oh, wow. They always felt that there was the interesting part of the car was the mob hit that actually happened in here. Well, years later, it went into disarray and fell into a junkyard. We do a lot of business with Sarasota Salvage. I told him that's where I bought the teeth you're going to see all over the jail. He helps me find different things because that's his business. He told me about this car and we went and looked at it at a junkyard. It was gray, beat up, dilapidated. We had them restore it like this. We knew it would be an outdoor piece. No engine, no transmission, but what it does have, which I thought was good to keep.
Oh, wow. That's so cool. That's really
Investigators, cool. I would spend a few minutes in here with your your spirit boxes.
Yes, definitely.
You will get all kinds of, my wife and I get all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I smoked a cigarette.
What was it? Has anyone ever been arrested?
No.
Something like that.
It's like, has anyone ever been arrested? And I
got
oh,
like,
wow.
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
I like the suicide doors too.
That's what we liked about it as well. But this is one of our museum pieces that we call it. And we felt that it needed a good home. And I mean, with the paranormal story behind it alone, I couldn't help it. And of course, we had the Trenton put on it. It did not. It came out of the Bronx.
Oh, okay. That's what I was wondering. So it came out of the Bronx?
Yes, it did.
Okay.
And like I said, I bought it and we had the star put on it. We had it repainted.
Yeah.
And wow.
Those are the actual bullet holes. Wow. Yes.
Check it
out. The other window over the years.
I don't know if they like.
Check it out.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Nope.
It's
the actual
design on that.
By how old the glass is.
Wow.
I'm surprised at the rating and all.
Tail light, maybe? That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I just wondered what the design was.
A ship?
No one could replace it.
Oh, wow.
And even the other window was shot out. They never replaced it.
So there's no trunk, or there is a trunk maybe? Look at that.
Yes, Mr. Bones, Sergeant Bones.
Oh,
But
wow.
speaking of that, you brought him up. Some of the names of the sheriffs that were running this Old Gilchrist. And when I heard one of them, I didn't believe it, but I'll say his name next. One of them was Sergeant Slaughter, which is in...
I read about that, too.
Yeah, okay. I'm talking to... I eat breakfast a lot. This is great for paranormal investigators. Get to the places early. Go either to the bar if it's late, where the old men are drinking, or go first thing in the morning to a breakfast place close to the paranormal destination, and you will get the real deal from the town's perspective on certain places. One of the things we do when we investigate. Usually period music, too, is another one of the things we use. But the guys started talking about, oh, yeah, I remember back in 62, old Sheriff Roy Rogers, and I stopped him. I'm like, excuse me? This is a new name I've never heard. I said, did you say Roy Rogers? He's like, yeah, there was an actual Sheriff Roy Rogers. Now, I have not looked that up. I would not think this man would lie to me. He was Bell, actually, wasn't here. But, yeah, he said that, and I quote, I've heard this from spirits as well, that Roy Rogers told him if his check bounced, he had to pay some kind of fine or something. He says, if this check bounces, I'm going to bring you up to the second floor and throw you down the stairs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he was very heavy-handed, too. But, yeah, like I said, I was taken back. I'm like, first Sergeant Slaughter, now I'm hearing about a Sheriff Roy Rogers.
Roy Rogers has some good food, man.
Huh? Yeah, right? But as we walk into the Gilchrist, established in 1928, from 1928 to 1966, the prisoners at 6 p.m., the guards would lock the door, have a good evening, they wouldn't come back till 6 a.m. Hence why so much misery, so many deaths, so much heavy spirits that are here.
Is that why you're locking us in from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m.?
I won't lock you in unless you want to. There are as many doors that are still operational at Gilchrist.
Oh, wow.
But no, we don't actually lock anyone in here. We've had people sleep in here.
Yeah.
But as we walk into the Gilchrist, all these are the original bars.
That's cool.
All original here. As we walk in, you'll take notice of this little hole here. I always thought it was just storage. We had a sheriff from a small jail somewhere here in Florida come and say, you know what that is, don't you? And I'm like, storage? It's like, no, that's where they used to shove the unrulies. And you can get in there, you can fit in there. Me and one of my teenage sons did.
I saw you get in there in that video.
I saw you get it now.
Nice. No, so you're part of the Gilchrist
But
family.
this looked like it was way bigger. Like this area.
Probably could maybe have my perspective from out of there, but yeah, that's that was the hole people put in.
Wow.
We've had grown men go in there with blindfolds and
I'm going
earplugs.
in
Go
blind.
on in.
Oh, I am too.
Oh, Mom.
To where there's not much room in there.
Uh-uh.
He came out scared. Something had grabbed him by the foot.
Oh shit.
So not many
I'm
men
so
get touched
glad.
here. It's normally women with blonde hair.
Oh.
And I will say one thing. I will say one thing. It's never inappropriately, and I find that to be very refreshing and respectful. And maybe it's because we're talking about spirits of the 20s and the 60s, where there was more respect of men towards women on a lot of fronts. Not so much on a lot of fronts too, but it's never inappropriately, and I do respect
That's
that of the
good.
spirits. With that said, there are female spirits here as well. Now, I'll let CHERYL take over. They wanted to kind of know names of each cell, so she's much better at that. So I'll let CHERYL take over at this point.
Okay, so the only thing that I've ever encountered in cell 1, and it's been on a couple of times, is an older woman. And I don't know if that's typically where she stays, but it's gotta be somewhere down here because that's where they kept the women.
I was gonna
until-
say, I figured they kept the women closer
Yeah.
to where they could.
And you can also tell these extra bars are on here for extra protection in case someone did escape from downstairs.
Oh.
They had an extra layer of protection over them at least too,
Okay.
from males.
Yeah.
So there is one down here named Nancy though.
What was that?
Whoa.
Yeah, I've been hearing noises since you guys were outside.
He just went outside.
Yeah, Lee's over there. It's
That's upstairs.
something else.
What is that?
Is somebody up there?
No, we have. You'll hear like this.
Holy crap.
He went out the door.
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah,
kidding?
Lee.
Hold on, CHERYL.
He's in there.
Oh,
Never mind. He's in the room next to us.
Okay.
Because I was like, well, that is quite a bit more. But you will hear footsteps a lot
Okay.
upstairs. You'll hear stuff upstairs, but that was kind of a lot.
That was
But,
scary.
Yeah.
So Nancy.
So
is-
Nancy is in here. Like I said, she's typically not very friendly, especially to men. She I've heard her called evil Nancy, mean Nancy, bad Nancy. I just call her Nancy, and me and her have an agreement that I like bitchy people, and she's a bitch, and it works out.
She'll probably like me too.
So okay, so yeah, well,
That's
in like the
so
same
hard.
group. So yeah, so Nancy, like I said, is like somewhere down here, but like I said, I'm thinking she's the one in here.
Okay.
2, we have gotten pictures of the shadow person in.
Oh wow.
Um,
It is small.
yes.
You see how heavy that
Oh,
door
look,
is?
There.
If
Yeah.
you take notice of this camera up
You
here, this
seen
is
how
Casper's system.
that door that you just opened and how heavy it was. Our camera system one night at 1:20 a.m. picked up that door opening and closing all by itself.
Oh, my.
Great.
And that's a heavy door. You can all feel it. And you know, she just, I'm sure she had to,
It
you
is
know.
heavy.
She did, because she
Yeah.
wasn't pulling it at first.
It is
Yeah.
heavy.
That's on the wall.
That's my blood.
That's him.
That's me.
So.
Yeah, it's
So
great when Nichols opens
what are some names in there?
Now, I don't know of any
Okay,
names
we'll
in
try
cell
to get
I don't
2.
know if it's a man or
And I don't know any names in cell 3 either.
Cell Sam
However,
or Sammy
that
Wells?
is
I don't like
extremely
this
active in there.
Cell 3 is
Yes.
extremely active.
Yes.
But as you notice as you walk through, there's these cameras, these high-tech cameras, they're filming every square inch of
Did
this
you feel
place.
something?
Yeah. In your
Total.
stomach? Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's definitely a shift.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
I felt something
I'm
in
gonna
my
go grab
stomach.
the key, Cheryl, so I can unlock the back door.
That was weird.
You can take them through. I'll
What'd
be
you
right
feel?
back.
I don't know, and it was right here. Maybe like something went through my stomach.
I feel like I'm vibrating right
Like
now.
a short
Like my whole
person?
body's vibrating.
No, I felt like dizzy, like I was.
I felt like something was maybe trying to, I don't know.
I feel like I walked.
It's still there. It's, walk in there, Thomas, it's still
It just
there.
kind of makes my belly feel a little funny.
Like I said, it's a very, very active cell. I mean, we
Ooh.
have REM pods going off. We will get EVP.
It feels heavy.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I know.
Dowsing rods.
That's gonna be a good one. Something was weird.
Do you have a name of somebody in here?
No.
That, I didn't get a name out of that one.
Look at our-
Everything feels heavy.
I like the spirit box better, but my fans like.
I can't bring myself up.
I
That's so weird
never
trying to
tried
walk.
myself.
It's like my arms are pushed like this.
My
I
get
feel like I'm
physically
shackled
modified.
down.
It's okay with you.
I know, it feels like someone's
can't
holding
move
my
my
arms
feet.
like
Yeah.
this. Like someone's holding me down.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. This place is so small.
Oh,
This is gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Don't throw it out.
Oh my god!
Usually,
Oh, God!
walk like that, except my blessings.
You just scared the crap out of me.
That was not my intention, trust me. I don't go out my way to try to scare
It
her.
feels heavy in here, very heavy in here.
I scared myself.
There's-
Before I walked out, it felt like something was holding my feet, maybe I was shackled.
I actually got.
Right,
Oh my
like
God.
the feeling that you might have, that might have been what you were feeling, they did have to do that to someone, because back then they would literally, and like, I have some of the arrest records, they were arrested for cursing, they were arrested for being crazy, they were just arrested for the craziest thing, walking at 2 a.m.
I can't breathe.
Like, I mean, just
Yeah.
the most
Can't breathe.
bizarre things they were arrested for. So it was just a different time, you know. But again, back to where he was telling you in the beginning, they would leave at 6 p.m., wouldn't come back to 6 a.m. Sometimes, you know, not everyone would survive through the night. The story in here is, we've got a couple different names too, so I'm not really sure which one it is. There's been a name James come up, there's been a name Thomas come up, and I think Richard was another name that came up, so I'm not really sure which
Thomas,
one that
Richard,
is. There's been a few. He, was in
number is
jail
this?
here.
4?
This is 4. And his father was in jail somewhere else for killing a police officer. And his father got executed.
Right, I read
And
about
when
that.
his father got executed,
We
he
have
hung
those names.
himself.
That was Edward.
Yeah, Edward, yeah.
Like I said, I've
What do you
got
have
a
a
few
name
different
for?
names out of here. Like I said, we've gotten the name James out of here, the name Thomas out of here, Richard, I believe Eddie
So
or
Edward,
Eric,
it would-
maybe,
yeah. Okay.
Eddie or Eric. So there's been a few, and I'm not
Okay.
really sure who's who. There's a few
Okay.
of them that have come out of this.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is cell 4, like I said, it's
Feels like I got
Very,
punched in
very
the chest.
active.
Is this the one that had 10 beds in it?
6.
6.
Okay.
Cell 3, 4, and 8 are typically the most active, but lately those have been kind of hopping too. So,
Okay.
if you want to go right
Cell
across the
5.
hall here to cell 5,
As we get to cell 7, you'll see another representation of Gilchrist. But here's an example of the old toilet, the old sink.
Go.
This is a 2-person, this housed 2 inmates. The smaller cells, that one housed 6. So you can see the bolts here where the beds were. As like I said, when we get into cell 7, it'll show you a good example of what life at Gilchrist was like. It actually has a bed, sink, and toilet in there.
So where did
Here is
where
very
did they
heavy.
shower?
And the hall,
In the hall.
end of the hall.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Now, the only place you'll pick up on K2 readings in here that are being caused by the Casper's brain is the downstairs shower.
Okay.
If you get your K2 meters anywhere near this, it's not going to register because this is low frequency.
Okay.
Down there is where it dumps back
Okay.
into. So that corner, but it's just that corner.
Okay.
Nowhere else you're gonna get bleed through on your K2s.
Oh,
the
wow.
names that are most common picked up in there
That's
is,
cell 5.
yeah, in 5, is Frank and Fred.
Fred?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So those would be the 2 that you'll
I
pick
do
up.
have
in there.
battery operated fan, DeWalt fans as well, that will be here for your disposal as well, and some DeWalt lights as well, if you wanna shut down some battery lights. I do have,
This is
some
cell
lights in
6.
each cell too.
It's pretty active
If you
here.
when you shut the lights off.
Okay.
Not all of them are operational, but most of them are. So this way, when you shut the lights down here, you won't be falling and tripping over everything per se.
Yeah.
It just depends how you investigate. I like doing the dark, but
But I have had a male in here talking to me before. He told me he was married, he told me he had children. But like I said, I could never get a name.
Okay.
But people have also seen, including me, have seen the shadow person dip into here before. I've seen it
Okay.
one time dip into the cell.
Okay.
So that is another one that, like the shadow person.
Omar caught shadow person
Omar
before.
caught it on camera.
Coming into this room?
In this
Oh,
one, yeah.
wow.
So, and like I said, I happened to see it one time myself. Otherwise, I've only seen it inside
Yeah.
once. I've seen it outside once, twice.
Do you guys catch much on your cameras?
All the time.
Did you guys just
I
laugh?
just heard a laugh or a cry from over there. It sounded like a woman.
Unless they knew.
Did you laugh or cry or anything?
No, I haven't said a word. No, I haven't said a word.
I heard something, but I didn't know what it was.
Cell 7 would be the best representation
that's-
right now of how the life in Gilchrist was. It has the toilet, the sink, and the bed. The only other thing missing is the bed that would be above it, which I plan to take the bed that's on the floor and put it into here to make an actual full representation of the cell, and over the years we'll pick up other beds and stuff.
You were legit like knee to knee with the other
2
person.
beds. Can you imagine?
Oh.
My thought was always, imagine you being stuck on the bottom cell. I mean,
Somebody taking a dump.
I would definitely sleep with my head up here.
Yeah.
But I still wouldn't want some guy, you know how guys are, ladies, they're pissing all over the friggin' place. Your
Oh,
feet are getting
yeah.
pissed on for sure, excuse me if I'm being a little
yeah.
vile. But yeah, I'm not a real tough guy, but I think I'd want the top cell, the top bunk.
Yeah, definitely.
So, the beers you see laying around, those were offered up by us to get ghost participation, to spirits participation. We offered them to lead them beers, and we've never taken them from them.
Oh, and you got cigarettes in there.
Uh,
I brought
that's-
some snacks.
We brought snacks and
They like batteries. Leave your worn down batteries behind. Yeah, that's more with their
Oh,
thing.
it's so blurry right there.
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm sure that it is. And yo, you're strap on. You're about to be on an e-ticket ride to Gilchrist.
Is there any names in here?
Robert is the name that you will pick up most in,
In this
here.
room?
And he's a trickster. He will, like,
Is he the one that likes blondes?
one of them, but you're getting ready to see.
Oh, shit.
Oh, I'm excited.
Like you're getting ready to see it.
But like I said, Robert
Oh, this is gonna be
actually
cool.
went home with me. He will turn lights
Oh
on and
my
off in the
God.
middle of the night. He will turn my faucet on and off. He took his wallet out to the backyard and threw it out
We
there.
just have
Oh, nice. Yeah.
a thing in here
I
that
had
comes
to-
right away out that keeps everything in and anything out.
Okay, yeah, because like I said, he kept going home with me way too often and it was getting a little uncomfortable. This
So I think it's going downstairs to Gilchrist, make sure you communicate with the investigators, but do not try to go home with them. You know the plaque that's right at the front door.
We brought Sage with us.
A lot of women, including myself, have been sitting here and they will have something come up behind them and touch their shoulders as if they want to massage them. Like I said,
Massage?
I'm telling you, like I said, it's not inappropriate ever. They've never
a
like,
train
you know,
unit from 1928.
other
It's still
words,
here.
but you just
Still
felt
here.
my hair.
This is the only
Yeah,
comfort
so
we
I
had was a
had
heater.
there.
There was no air conditioning. Air conditioning is your windows. That's why we don't do what St. Augustine done. We had the upgrades done up there. We could have had this air conditioning.
That we've got
I
here.
want
This is
people
the
to
guy that
feel
likes
exactly what the spirits
That's
are
what we
feeling on
heard.
any given day they'd be
That's
here.
what we heard.
But you know, like I said, when
We
that's,
also
that, I'll have
heard
that air
there was a death
conditioning in the
here
near
as
future.
well.
Yeah.
The new roof on the windows, which has a window there
That
every
could be
day.
too. There is something
I
in
just
here
want to
that
leave
is
this as
angry
rustic
sometimes,
and
and he
period
makes
as
people
I possibly
very,
could.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes
sometimes like nauseous. It make people have headaches sometimes. I've had to walk out of here myself a time or two. But you know, I'm in here all the time. So for me, 2 times being out of here is nothing. But I don't know.
I was me, opening the door. Don't worry,
Oh,
that was me.
I'm laying on that bed
So,
tonight.
but anyhow,
You
yeah,
are?
you
Yes.
guys,
I am.
women have the most activity in
Okay.
here.
Something already good with my hair.
Yeah, and like I said, and it loves blondes.
Oh, great. But we don't know his
So,
name.
like I said, the only name that I've ever heard come out of here is Roberto, and I'm not really sure. I'm not sure if that's true. That's the only name that's ever heard here. And then, like I said, Robert though across the hall, he's fine.
I'm trying to make it
He's-
as user-friendly as
I'm not gonna get
possible.
slapped in the face with it or nothing.
No, but he might, if you put something down, he might move it or something, you know.
Don't put anything down.
I'm just,
I wanna see it.
She's all like, she's like 70, that's why she's so
So, wow.
But yeah, to where it is today or was
Yeah,
last
as
year.
far as the cells though.
Let's
say, yeah,
Wow.
I was reading, you guys just bought a bunch, right?
Yeah, we're taking this place leaps and bounds into the future.
Yeah,
So-
we bought no more.
4 or 5.
I'm sure it's not a gold mine, but
a gold mine, $1 million.
it's going to be generational because our children are empaths as well. And I have one son that's 12 that's extremely interested in being the face of Gilchrist after I become too old.
Awesome.
So, Paul, keep good 3-point contact at all times going down these stairs. They're very steep.
Yeah, hang on here for a second.
She scared the crap out of me.
She is. There's a story behind her. Unfortunately, her hand broke, but she was here when we bought the place. It was donated by a transvestite. They used to dress her. A transvestite roommate. He used to dress. The roommate used to dress her in dresses to see how they would look on him. He passed away. They were very close friends with him. They were lovers or not, but he swore after he passed away that this mannequin would move, and he gave it to Arlene. And when we bought the place of Arlene, she was like, "Hey, can she stay?" So she's become our dispatch girl, because in the process, this is part of our museum as well. Our museum is actually back that way. I'm going to turn the light on. But this is a switchboard from 1921 from an old jail down in Venice, Florida. This would be the example of a good example of what the Gilchrist had here at one time. It would have probably been in that room over there, because that was then your dispatch room over there, intake room. But yeah, this is an example of when you called 911. This is how it was done.
Wow.
But as we walk back, this is where they bring the prisoners in through this way. Now we turn this into our little museum.
Oh, you have a lot.
Wonderful. Yeah.
John
I
Wayne
gotta
Gacy.
change the battery though. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Ted Bundy.
Some of the things we have in here. Yes, we have the Dillinger wanted poster and bullet was fired from his gun. We also have Bonnie and Clyde wanted poster with bullets that were fired from their gun. We have things here from Alcatraz. We have a baton from Alcatraz in the 20s. We also had a tear gas slash. Thank you. Great. Does anybody have a light that can light up for me? For a moment.
Cell phone.
We will. There's lots of these batteries here. I'll get them charging up too. That
Whoa.
for the fans and these lights that I have all over the place.
I have all the Indian artifacts here from Florida that I picked up along the way. Different periods of handcuffs from different eras. I had all these batteries charged.
Can you do that again?
It's a dead battery, so. But anyway, different period of handcuffs. As you notice here, the locks of Gilchrist are from the 20s, or from the early 1900s. This is an example of a lock from the 1800s. The reason why I have it, A, because it's neat, it came from jail, it's jail nostalgic. But in 1963, there was a famous person held behind this lock in Fulton, Georgia, outside of Atlanta. The famous person was so famous that actual John Kennedy and his brother Bobby went there and said, "You are not going to put Martin Luther King Jr. on a chain gang for his beliefs in civil rights." That was at the jail he was at. I'm not going to say he was locked behind that lock, but that was definitely at the jail at the time. Martin Luther King Jr. was an inmate at that jail. Wow. So that's why we bought that. This actual bottle here was dug up here at Gilchrist. So that tells me at one point they must have had an old Pepsi machine on site somewhere, and the bottles just got evenly distributed all amongst the place. This comes from the old Brooksville jail in Brooksville. Wonderful. I'm going to charge these batteries, obviously. Let's pop another one in. This one's going to charge though, so if this one starts blinking. But I'll leave these batteries, you'll notice, out. They will feed on these batteries. There we go. We got a good one right now. Other things I can talk about. Got the crystal skull there. Got the. This is an old 1907 target practice gun, 22 police issue. That's the original finish on it. Never fired. Never fired.
So we can't take that Ouija board out and use it?
No.
No.
But I should have brought it. We have one of the first original Ouija boards from the 1894 from Willis, and I have to ask my wife the name. We actually have the Blanchette box and everything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, not the original box, but the Blanchette box we still have.
That's pretty big.
Not Whammo.
Nuts.
Ouija board of the 70s. No, this is one of the first Ouija boards they came out with. That's in our personal collection at home.
Back when they called them spirit boards?
Yeah. I probably have pictures of it somewhere. But as I talk to you more about stuff, we of course picked this old 1920s fan up. That is still operational, I might add. This was actually made, I'm thinking about making these, of course, for entertainment purposes only, out of the actual boards I took out of the bunkhouse. I've saved them all. I'm going to make, for entertainment purposes only, divot boxes with the dirt and nails from Gilchrist inside of them. This is just my prototype model. Now, getting to the part of our story, a lot of people have asked, are there remains on Gilchrist? We've had mediums tell us, because that part back there we get to go to next was built in 1966. When Florida State Legislature said you've got too many deaths going on in your jail, you need to have them 24-hour supervision at that point. But we've had mediums come in, much more talented, gifted than I, say they're picking up on spirits that are under the ground. Now that I can confirm, but I can show you one set of remains. It was from a prison guard from New York back in the early 70s. His name was Henry Joseph Irwin. Then Irwin might sound a little familiar. This is my father's ashes in here. He was not at peace before I brought him here.
Oh, wow.
Now I've been told that he's at peace because he's back amongst the spirits. It's what he liked doing as a fleshy. So he's at peace here, and he always has a place here at Gilchrist because, let's face it, like I said, it's going to be multi-generational family property. So, but let's see, is there anything else? Oh, this leg iron was actually found here at Gilchrist. And if you see that little electric chair back there behind the leg iron, that actually came from Alcatraz while it was in operation. If you went there for a execution, or they actually sold those in the store that you actually witnessed an execution.
Oh.
So, yeah, we pick up lots of little neat things as we go along. But as you walk by, if you look into this bathroom, that's pretty interesting. That's the original towel holder that was in the bathroom from 1928 when they opened up.
Oh, wow.
I kind of thought that was interesting, and I leave that.
Yeah, that it lasted.
Right. Plenty of off. The mosquitoes will start coming in droves. You'll see these cans all over the place. They're there for your use and mine.
Thank you.
So, with that said, you're going to go out through this back door here, which, like I said, in 1966 they built this. Now you're standing right where the last murder at Gilchrist happened. This is where Willie J was killed. This is where he was found. Or not found. He was found in the woods about 2 miles from here. But the story with Willie J is, right as you were coming up here, you see it on the corner. When you turned left to come down here, there was that little shack that sits on the corner with the old Whitten sign sitting next to it. They started killing Willie J here. They dumped his body here. They came back 24 hours later. He was laying here bleeding and suffering. They put 2 more rounds into him right there. Drug him off and dumped him into the woods.
So he wasn't dumped here. That's what I was reading.
They dumped him here first.
Okay.
They came back here to check on their good work.
To make
He
sure
was still
gone.
alive. They put a couple more shots in, and then you see where these houses are right here. They're like, get him up out of here quick.
Yeah.
And they got him out of here, and they found his body a couple miles.
And that was in 2008?
That was in 2008.
Okay.
Now, Willie J, some of Willie J's family lives in this neighborhood. His sister lives here, and she does not. Her brother has crossed over. He is not here. But a lot of investigators will pick up on the spirit of Willie J. In fact, this is before our time, but Arlene had a psychic in here a week before the event I'm going to tell you happened. She says, you need to bring a red rose to your appointment next weekend. She's like, well, first of all, how do you know I have an appointment? She's like, just trust me, bring a red rose. That particular next weekend, one of other Willie J's relatives happened to be here. And she came in and seen the red rose. She's like, that's for me, isn't it? And Arlene goes, I don't really know who it's for. I had a psychic here the week before that said I needed to have it here tonight. And she said, Willie J would always give me a red rose every time he would see me. That rose is for me.
Oh my God.
So I play Jay-Z for Willie. Normally I'm playing Glenn Miller in there, or I'm playing the Black Man's Blues in there, or I'm playing chakra tones, but I play his favorite music out here. I share cigarettes with him. I don't judge why he was killed. There's stories that it was a love triangle. There were stories that he was a drug dealer. And he became sober and found God. His girlfriend was like, I don't want to find God or be sober. And they robbed him, and that's how they say it transpired with Willie J.
What kind of music did you like?
Jay-Z. Jay-Z. He likes
Can I
Jay-Z.
cut through?
Go on.
Go ahead. But in the jail, if you're going to use period music, I suggest Glenn Miller. I suggest, because we caught a
They
disembodied
really
whistle.
like In the Mood by Glenn Miller.
They really like, because
Like,
we caught a
seriously.
disembodied whistle right outside that window, and I thought it was a sham, and I won't say what team. But at the end of the day, I was whistling earlier in the day because the spirits communicated through me a few weeks earlier and wanted to hear that song.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to get our investigators
Glen
coffee.
Mood in the river.
And I'm walking
By
up and I'm
Glenn
hearing the
Miller.
whistle. Now, earlier in the day I was catching a snake. And I don't know how to manipulate things.
Yeah.
But there would have been no way, there was too many girls screaming while I was whistling in my zone catching a snake.
Oh, wow.
For them to dub everything out, because an hour and a half later I'm walking up. Did someone take when I was whistling? No, isn't that you whistling? No, and we could all hear it clear as day going on. In fact, it's probably going to be on Paranormal on film sometime in the next year or so.
Yeah.
My understandings.
That's amazing.
But this is the gathering room. This is one of the most active places.
So where's the window?
The window.
The window, right
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 there.
there's boarded up.
That's the boy. That's where the guy was found dead.
Yes.
Yes, right there. He
And
was
I
shot
know
in
this
the
be
forehead.
so because Patrick Cordasco, excuse me, was an active sheriff. He was here affiliated with Arlene, but he was actually one of the investigators on duty, and he just lives right up the street, and he's our historian. We'll bring him in from time to time for different groups like Paranormal Dog. When they want really precise history, we'll bring him in, and he, like I said, he was on the last murder investigation. He was one of the officers here. So, that doll there has chased more than one man out of here.
Oh, I bet.
D&D Paranormal has actually on footage of that doll blinking, and that doll does not blink on her own.
Yeah, no.
We had a Citrus Paranormal come in here. We had TJ come running out of here in the middle of winter, and you could tell that I had some heat going on, but he come running out white as a ghost saying that doll turned his head. He actually had tears.
Oh my God.
Had another full-grown man before he owned the place from the Parageeks. He was his first investigation. He came running out of here. Something touched me. Something whispered in my ear, and I'm thinking to myself, "Yeah, these guys are shills." So I says, "Do you mind if I hug you?" I could feel his body just.
Oh my.
He was
Lord.
scared to death.
Wow.
So.
Yeah, it was kind of funny because they were like, we asked him, we're like, was that your worst experience? He was like, that was my first experience. We're like, oh.
Oh.
So yeah, really affected him.
Made him a believer, huh?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Wow, I love all this stuff.
Yeah, this also came from Sarasota Salvage. They do a lot of buildings. The old buildings there in Sarasota, they'll go and dismantle them and sell the stuff in their shop, which his shop is off the chain active as well.
Wow.
You might also
There's-
pick up
yeah,
there's
somebody's
3
walking
children
upstairs.
in here from time to time.
Somebody's upstairs.
Somebody's walking upstairs.
You'll hear footsteps. This is something new.
That's
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah? Oh yeah,
Did you
you
see
just
him?
heard them? Yeah?
See
Oh
him or
yeah.
just hear him?
That might be affiliated with Shadow Man. What
Do the
not?
dolls have names? It's like being
Here
in
is
my
one of
house,
the
I got a bunch of
fans.
them.
Matter of fact,
batteries
this
in.
one when we got hurt, she was tied to this bed. I was like, "Why is she tied?" And he goes, "Cause she moves." So I was like, "Oh."
Oh,
So I untied her. I haven't seen her.
She hasn't
move
jumped
yet,
off of there yet.
but, you know,
If she does,
let
I
me
will
know
kiss
if she
her pants.
does. Okay, just let me know, cause I'm waiting for that. Cause he swore that he would. He said that he would come into his shop and it would be like in a different place than where he had left it the night before when he had locked
I
it.
didn't
And
think
only
that
that
was
doll.
there.
All the other dolls and everything were
right.
staying everywhere it was, but that particular doll would move around. He said so. He literally tied it to that little bed and it stayed there after that, I guess.
You said something about 3 kids in here?
There is 2 little girls in here for sure. We've got the names Margot and Jamie before. And I'm not sure which one of the little girls. I believe it might be Margot, but I'm not 100%. She also has a little brother, but I don't know his name. So there are, like I said, there's 2 little girls in here and a little boy from time to time. The girls, especially Margot, she will communicate usually. She likes to communicate. She really likes like mother figures, mommy kind of women, she likes to talk to those people. So Margot, and like I said, Jamie will chime in too from time to time. So, but Margot's pretty active, and like I said, you'll hear the little boy from time to time, but I've
Do you
never
just
gotten
hear
his
a
name.
voice?
No, the girls won't tell me, and he won't either.
Oh. I just heard a voice back there, and it sounded like a kid.
This, if you have a laptop, you can plug directly into our Wi-Fi at the end of this cord. Don't know if you have a laptop with you, but this is the actual patch cord that goes into
Yeah, we
your.
brought our laptop.
Here it is. You can actually plug directly into our Wi-Fi.
What's
with this
the
cable.
story behind the mirror?
Our Wi-Fi password is on the wall there. It's Shadow
Is
28,
there a
capital S.
story behind this?
That mirror was left here. I wish someone didn't clean it. And it should be, I guess, in our thing. If someone cleaned it, yes, we've had faces caught in there. It could have been dust manipulation for pictures per se. Right here, we caught one of our orbs that we have on the Gilchrist page, where it's actually it looks like a doctor's face, eyes, ears, cap, a distorted nose, a frown. Has several pictures in a row. Two of them, one you can see it good, one's fading away, one there's nothing. The way you take pictures, so you can determine it out. Civil War spirit has been caught in the right-hand corner of the jail. Also caught a very large black mass right outside the jail that we've caught. We have actual pictures of that as well.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, like I said, that was the last murder, really, Jay. You can go back here per se. It's not safe. But, you can poke your head in here and those are rafters.
What was it used for?
This is where the cops would sleep.
Oh, this is the
This is where the bedrooms are going to be here in the next 4 to 5 months.
Oh.
Once I get my permit, putting the roofs on, windows
Imagine
already
being
been
able to
ordered.
the door. Okay.
One of those
Yeah.
little girls,
It's gonna be
and I don't know, like I said again,
Well,
I
I can't do Airbnb, but I can,
Sure.
like,
One of these girls, it was
You'll
her
be
bedroom,
able to
for sure.
stay from
Oh.
6
Yes, like
p.m. to
I've
6
even had
a.m. if
psychics
you were
come in
to
and be
sleep
like,
at
I can
6
see
a.m.
her
as long as you leave
I can see her bed.
before you've been here for
That's her
23
bedroom.
and 59 minutes, I can let you stay.
Oh.
But I can't actually have a weekly B&B tour between paranormal investigators, which we're starting to get more bookings on the weekdays.
I think she was like one of the cops' daughters.
Probably.
Less background noise.
Yeah, because
No,
this
it's gonna
house
be
was
2
built
bedrooms,
in
it's gonna sleep about 10
'66.
people, that'll be a full bedroom, a full bathroom,
Obviously,
shower.
the jail
Everything
goes
else
down
is
to
still on property
Yeah.
house.
However, the
Again, it's
sheriff's
this
whole
wall,
family
small
lived there,
refrigerator,
right, and his
microwave,
kids and stuff. So I do
So
believe
this way,
at least
there's nowhere
one
to
of the
stay here
girls
in
was a
Trenton, so
sheriff's
now our
daughter.
investigators either have
And
to
I
sleep in
kind of
themselves
think the
with
other 2 kids, though,
Sorry.
I think
in
that
their car or
they're
something
from,
like that, but no, we're
I think they're
like
from
I said,
going
have
to
this,
jail
so
in
they
this
have
building,
somewhere
in all
like
honesty.
that.
I think
This will have
there's a
electric.
story
This
that
will have
I've
heat.
heard back
This
in
will
the
have air
1800s.
conditioning.
There was
This
2
will have running
kids,
water.
a little
This
boy
will
and a
have
little
all
girl
that.
got like
Out
separated
here,
from
the
their
only
parents
thing we'll
in the
have
train
is 2
station
ceiling
years ago.
fans
And
running
got
out there
lost
that
and
plug
got
in
found
back
around
here.
here dead
And then
later
we'll
on.
have
And
2
I
AC
kind of think those
slash
two are
heating
them.
vents coming out.
Because